go for the modular classrooms that we're going to have to purchase at the price of several $1 million to install and maintain. We're going to have associated costs with that. We're going to have some sort of addressing of the police department situation. We still have to address the DPW garage. We still have to address the high school and the middle school housing needs. And how we do that is dependent upon the approval of this project. If these particular program is not approved, again, we have some alternative plans in place as to what we're going to have to do. And it doesn't involve reimbursable amounts, unfortunately. So the whole dollars are going to be ours and not shared by anybody else.
Well, that's a good point, Steve, on the reimbursable dollars for the school. This has been bothering me since town meeting, when people put out letters to the elderly that are unsigned and make false statements. If this project isn't approved now, the cost of the police station will go up, the cost of the school will go up. Now, if people are out there saying, well, gee, maybe I'll give it the alterations and the renovation a chance and see if we get the money, that's a terrible risk to take. They all know who we are. We've been here for 2.5 years. We've had architects come in. We've got all kinds of reports. I've gone to 7 police stations. I'm sure people have visited other schools. But where is the opposition that doesn't even sign these forms? Is someone from them, if you don't get reimbursement, are they going to stand up and apologize to the town and then walk away, say, I'm sorry, I cost you another $5 or $6 million? You know where you stand with us now. We've made our presentation. We have the statistics, we have the facts, we have the numbers. So I think you go best with us and not worry about a bird in the hand that might not be a bird in the hand. Might be a thorn in your finger.
It's a bird.
Yeah, but the other point is too, again, we did spend an inordinate amount of time going through it, and even the alternatives that I've heard, again, this group or organization out there was invited to come and meet with us and chose not to. And again, that's fully within their rights to do it whatever venue they deem to be most appropriate, and what they deem to be in the best interest of the community. But we can't lose sight of the fact that this particular committee was born out of a sense of the community that they needed and wanted a master plan, an overall view of what our facilities needs were going to be. They weren't comfortable at the particular time 3 years ago with what was proposed because they didn't feel as though we had done our homework. We're still having been accused of not doing our homework. I have yet to see any proposal that's come forth from anybody or anybody that I've talked to in the community or any organization that claims to be an organization, come forward with a plan that we haven't discussed. I'm at a loss to say, that's something new we haven't talked about, whether it be a new high school, or whether it be, how about if we combine this sort of thing here? How about the J.T. Berry Center? Let's build a new school over the J.T. We don't even own the land. It might be a nice proposal, but the cost of doing it again increases, and it comes down to an affordability issue in meeting the needs of this particular community. Then we address the wants and desires, which comes to moving the town hall over to the center of town. And that will all be evaluated and put forth for town meeting to approve, and nothing moves forward again with the rest of these proposals without town meeting approval and then the ultimate approval at the ballot. But I have yet to find any proposal that have been put forth that we haven't discussed. Again, we put in 2.5 years, 30 people, 2.5 years, looking at all the alternatives, discussing it at length, and some of them rather heated discussions, to try to come to some sort of conclusion and consensus, and we have arrived at it unanimously, which is in and of itself somewhat unique. And again, just for our own efforts, I think we should all be congratulated, even if we're only patting ourselves on the back, because we put in hundreds and hundreds of hours. And again, these people have spent their 2.5 weeks before town meeting to put forth their proposal. It's something that was that's worth considering. We did consider it. We did look at it. We did go to the appropriate authorities in relation to seeking the levels of reimbursement. And I guess it's just the acceptance of information that we receive and taking it at face value when someone tells you no. It's no, particularly if it's the one that's holding the purse strings. Mr. Jerry.
I'd like to address one more financial aspect of all of this. People are concerned about revaluation and the value of their property increasing. It's important to know that the way the tax rate is calculated is that you take the cost of these projects and divide it by the total valuation of the town. so that if the valuation of the town goes up, the rate is going to drop commensurately. And the net cost to an individual whose property rises on the average as the town is not going to change. These costs are not simply going to go up and up because of revaluation. The only people who will see revaluation hurt them are people whose properties go up faster in value than the average of the town. And those people whose property values go up more slowly than the town's average will actually see these numbers drop. And to the extent that there's new growth in town, these numbers will drop for everybody. And these numbers were calculated without factoring in the new developments over at Teradyne and all. So if anything, these numbers are going to be too high. This is a worst case scenario. Look at that bottom line. If you're currently valued at $200,000, it's less than $600 in the most expensive year. And it will stay less than $600 if your valuation doesn't go up dramatically faster than the average of the town. And you don't have to be afraid of that revaluation. It's not going to hurt you if you're valued fairly.
Okay. But again, just for informational purposes, question 9, which is what you're going to be asked to act on a week from Tuesday. What we have is the actual cost over a 20-year time period for all of question 9, which is the Swan Pond School, police station, and the schematic designs. A $200,000 home. The total cost over that 20 years will be approximately $2,800. For a $300,000 home, it's $4,200. And for a $350,000 home, it's going to be $4,900. And that's over a 20-year period. Again, what you've heard from the Finance Committee representatives is the most substantial impact of those figures will fall into the year 2006. And again, I believe it was a $217 tax effect in the year 2006 on a $200,000 home and $326 on a $300,000 home. But overall, that's what the overall cost of these projects are going to be looking forward. Again, I can't stress the point. We can't stick our head in the sand and ignore the fact that if we don't move forward with this particular proposal or a proposal, and this is the only one that you have to vote on right now, is that we do have to take some very strong measures, which are going to be very costly to address the short-term and long-term needs facing this community. And it's going to be extremely costly, and the impact will probably be more because the bonding rates and the way that we're financing it are going to be less advantageous as a community. Again, there'll be no reimbursement rates on most of these things. If you buy a modular classroom, the School Building Assistance Bureau hasn't deemed that to be historic or anything else of a nature which is reimbursable. So I just think it's important that people recognize that. Ms. Colon, you have something?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment on, and we've touched upon it several times, the impact on the little school and the hood school, should this not prevail. The school committee has discussed this past Monday night possible remedies, situation that we're in next September, regardless of the results of November 7th, as I stated before, the continuing overcrowding of the bachelor school currently, not having a library, needing at least one more classroom just to maintain next school year. We will have to go forward. We do need classrooms. There are no vacant areas anywhere. Pre-kindergarten is not babysitting. We cannot take, pre-kindergarten is an integrated pre-kindergarten special education collaborative. I don't think I can add any more words to that to make it understood of what it is. And it is a situation of classrooms of 50% special needs children with 50% typically developing children on a tuition-paying basis. If we don't have those collaborative classrooms for pre-K, integrated pre-K, those children will need to go out of district, and that will be another blow to our budget, because we will be paying tuition to other communities for those services for those children. We do need more portables, trailers, whatever you want to call them, right on the batch right now. That's a discussion that the school committee needs to have with the Historic District Commission, and it probably won't be that pleasant a conversation. The little school and hood school will be affected by these changes and the needs that we have right now. And for next school year, can we put a portable on the little school? Can we put a portable on the hood school when the renovation and the addition to that building is complete? We think we can. We need to do a little bit more research because of the changes in the addition and the renovation to the little school, and the addition and renovation of the hood school have taken place since the last modular feasibility study was done by the school committee. And we will be looking at that again. So I need to say, the little school and the hood school can be affected by the passage or non-passage of this article, or this ballot question. This problem is not going to go away. Some have said that we have empty classrooms. We don't, anywhere in the system. Some have said we have 17 children in middle school classrooms. We don't. You can ask any kid in the middle school how many kids are in their classrooms. There isn't, I would venture to say, a broom closet available in all of the non-Reading public school systems. I need to make that statement. If you're being told that we have space all over the place, that is just not the fact, and anyone who wants to look, call the superintendent and he'll take you on a tour of any building you'd like to see.
Is there any other comments that anybody would like to make at this point? We'll conclude. I would just like to, again, first of all, thank the people that came to town meeting and supported the plan. It was refreshing, and when you put in so many hours, it's nice to see that you can get the public support, and again, the numbers that came out both nights, before the pepper spray and after, that you came out and supported. It was Article 17, and the initial step in bringing this forth on the ballot for favorable consideration. Again, this is a comprehensive plan that was developed over 2.5 years. This does include all of the facilities that we currently own and future ones that we're going to need. Other people in the community said you haven't talked about the water towers, and you haven't talked about a few other things. And the thing is, all those things like the water towers have been addressed in our master plan earlier that the Board of Selectmen have. That's underwritten by your water rates and doesn't necessarily impact your tax rate. So that's why it's not part of this plan. It's a comprehensive plan that does address the school housing needs administratively and, again, functionally, the police station needs, the DPW garage needs. Again, all of that is included in the numbers that you've heard tonight as far as the maximum impact on your tax dollars, the worst case scenario. Hopefully, again, we anticipated costs. We hope that they come in under that. Our plan is not to come back and ask you for any more money. The plan that's being put forth is a conservative estimate to encompass increases in cost associated with timing, and that's why we haven't come forward with the $45 million right now. We've asked for the schematic designs, the figures that we come forward with, which will require approval at town meeting and at the ballot again over the next 2 to 3 years, will be real hard dollars that you can count on, and we won't be coming back for any more money. We have done our homework. Again, it's been 2.5 years, a lot of discussion, and again, I have yet to see any proposals put forth from anybody that we have not previously addressed. We do acknowledge, and we did acknowledge, and we continue to acknowledge that there has been a change in the political climate at the state level in relation to School Building Assistance Bureau, the Governor's Office, and everybody else's. We've relied upon our resources, and our key resource, again, has been Representative Jones. We have an extreme amount of confidence in his ability to extract the information necessary to properly inform us as to what the expectations can be of this community. I think he's done a terrific job in doing that and being very honest and truthful with us, and I think that we should take that at face value, and again, his efforts have been appreciated. again, we would just like to